Welcome back to the Build Show. I know it's been a while for us to do a build, but to be honest, we haven't really had any builds come in. Kind of that weird, quiet time in between the excitement of the new year and the, I guess, holiday leftover money to right before tax season. And now we're entering tax season. So I would anticipate us to have a few more builds upcoming here, trickling in. I was kind of thankful because, for the most part, I was working on quite a few different open loop projects. So it gave me a lot of time to work on those without the stress of getting all the builds done. Hey, what's up? Detroit Truck Doctor, Mr. Mike. How you doing, sir? Welcome back to the Build Show over there on the YouTube. So we've had a pretty slow start to 2026, and I think it's mostly directly related to the cost of everything. Everything is insanely expensive when it comes to PC building right now. So the cost of RAM is insanely expensive. The cost of your SSD is insanely expensive. The cost of your graphics cards are going up. So everything is kind of slowly climbing. Manufacturers are slowing down. Not making as many parts now because nobody's buying them. When I say that, because the fact that the price of RAM is so high, there's less people interested in investing in that price. So there's less builds, I think, happening. So there's less components throughout the entire industry that's being purchased right now. So there's probably an abundance of coolers, motherboards, and power supplies and cases galore right now. So those prices might come down a bit, or we might see some pretty decent sales around those. But everything else is in pretty high demand, and for some reason, thanks to AI, is probably going to stay up there in that price range for our lifetimes. I do not see this ever coming back down. So anyway, enough of the bad news. The good news is we have a build here tonight, and it is for David. He actually is a local customer who reached out and was looking for a nice budget build to replace his current system, which I think had failed, if I remember correctly, based on our short conversation. He did also want to save some money and put his own graphics card in this build. So this is a GTX 1070, which is why you see an older card on the table. But it is still a very capable card. It's 1070, which is capable of delivering probably, I'd say 60 FPS in most AAA titles, at least around that ballpark, and maybe lowering some of the settings, you might get a little bit better performance out of it, or more frames. But for the most part, a 1070 still can play today. So he wants to save a few bucks and make sure he stretches his dollars, which I totally don't blame him in today's day and age with prices of everything. Just this build alone without the graphics card came out to about 600 and something, and then plus tax. So we're right around $700 in that price range just for the parts without the graphics card, to give you an idea. And mostly the biggest pain is going to be the RAM and the SSD. Both of these components are, I'd say, 1/3 of your budget. So the RAM being at $130 for 16 gigs of RAM, and then your SSD being about $150, you're around $300 just for those two components alone, which used to be under $100 for both of them for this type build. So it's a massive increase in price for a more budget-friendly build. And so more budget-friendly is becoming more and more difficult. But we got the Ryzen 5 5500. We've got an Assassin X120 Refined SE addressable RGB cooler, tower air cooler with 4 heat pipes and one 120 millimeter fan. Then we've got the B550M, which is a typical motherboard that I'll go to for a micro ATX build because it has the USB-C option, and it also has multiple addressable RGB headers, and also has 2 M.2 slots, which helps future-proof this size of a build. Hey Roy, what's up, man? Welcome back to the Build Show. You look tired. I've been under the weather the last week or so, and we're also in the middle of that migration. So we're putting on the hours here on this end. So I'm a little bit tired. You did catch me there, a little sleepy, but it's okay. Got to get this build done. So with the B550M Pro VDH Wi-Fi micro ATX motherboard, we also got the 16 gigs of literally probably the cheapest you can find available right now, which is 2 separate 8 gig sticks of this PU Skill brand, but I'm sure it's going to work just fine. I will obviously test it and make sure, and if there's a problem, we will of course swap it out for something else, and I've got options here. But ADATA for our SSD, which is the Legend 710 with a really cool case or box, and it shows liquid kind of wrapping around your SSD. For the record, you really don't want liquid on your or near anywhere near your SSD unless it is controlled in a open loop, maybe. That photo reference is not very good. Segitep for our power supply, which is the GN650W, which is a 650 watt 80 plus gold power supply, non-modular. Very nice power supply, and it will meet the power demands of the 1070, which used to be, back in the day, if you remember, you'd probably want at least a 650 watt power supply to run this. I think with the other components in the build being way more efficient than when this was released, for example, the CPU is like a 60 watt power CPU versus what used to probably run in this was a much higher wattage CPU. There's more legroom on the power supply in comparison to the components that this would have been paired with originally when this was released. So you get what I'm saying, right? Anyway, 1070 is going to go in there, and we've got the Aqua Elite, the Aqua 3 by Okeanis, which is a fantastic, nice little micro ATX case with the front and the side glass side panels, front glass and side panel being tempered glass, includes the 3 fans, and you've seen me building it before. We'll do it again. So let's get started, shall we? I do have, for the record, I do have other builds to do. I have a bunch of inventory builds here that I would love to get through and build, and I want to do them live on stream. I just haven't had the right time on my schedule with this migration, which, by the way, we go live on Friday, so hopefully this weekend everything goes well, and we can get back to a normal schedule. Although the following week after that, I am going to Oklahoma for a wedding, a family wedding. So we'll be driving down to Oklahoma and then driving back. Just so everybody's aware that we might obviously not have a scheduled stream next week because of that, unless I get it in early in the week. So with that being said, let's get started on this build. Let's do it. Part over there, which he was very nice enough to drop off before the build, so we were able to make sure we get it in here and make it part of the build stream, the build show, which is cool. We can see the complete build done. Yeah, I'm feeling it. The under the weather part really gets to you on busy schedules. You got a busy schedule and you get sick, you ain't got time to be sick. You push through it, and you just get really tired at the end of the day. All right, let's go ahead and get started by installing our Ryzen 5 5500 into the AIM4 sockets. So how's everybody doing? I know it's been a while since I've streamed. I've been busy, and we haven't really had any builds come in outside of what I've got sitting here. Been keeping up with everybody over on Discord, which if you haven't joined already and you're new to the channel, feel free to join the Discord. Great place to keep in tune, find out where in the world has been. All right. Got that installed, so next we're going to go ahead and put our RAM in, which we have the two 8GB sticks at 3200 megahertz. This is CL16. I personally never used this brand before, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, if I test it out and I don't like it, I will replace it. And then next up is our SSD, which is the ADATA Legend 710. It's a Gen 3 drive. It is nothing too fancy, but will definitely make your games feel and run a lot snappier than any traditional hard drive or SATA SSD. AIM-4, the GOAT. It is still going. I thought I would phase AIM-4 out this year. Like, running into the end of last year, I was like, we could phase AIM-4 out and only do AIM-5 builds or the new Intel Core series. But nope, here we are. Thanks to the price of everything, we're still building AIM-4. The old CPU that the GPU previously was running on was the AMD Phenom. Oh, you are going to feel quite the boost of performance coming from a Phenom. Those are dated. They are dated. So, you actually, at the time, David, or Davey, when you were running that CPU paired with that GPU, it was actually a major bottleneck for your graphics card. So your graphics card wasn't even fully running at its full potential on that rig. So with this rig, even the 5500 will run the GTX 1070 at its fullest. So you will be able to enjoy the full performance of the 1070 now. Hey, what's up, Tony? Yeah. What's up, man? Welcome back to the Build Show. Davey, welcome back to the Build Show. All right, so now that we've got our SSD, our CPU, and our RAM installed, we're going to go ahead and install our cooler, which this particular cooler does have some mounting brackets that we have to install. mounting hardware. We'll go ahead and get those installed. Got to get them out of the package here. And the first thing we have to do is remove the brackets that came with the board, which are these guys. Those are held in with 2 screws. There's a back plate on the back of this motherboard. Once we remove these screws, that back plate can fall out. So we don't really want to pick up the board after we do this, because it's free. Easy to line it back up and put it back in there, but ideally, once you're in this process, the board doesn't move, so then you could just place your mounting hardware right over the socket, over the screws, and because I've done a few of these already, we already know screws go here at the end, through these little holes, and we put it right into the back plate. I actually read on Facebook, there's a Facebook group chat, a couple of them that I'm in around PC hardware. Somebody said that this mounting from Thermalright is very difficult. What's up? I am Leo. Welcome back to the Build Show. Somebody was saying that this was a difficult mounting design. And I about laughed because this is probably one of the easier mounting designs there is. Alright, there we go. Got those installed. So next, we can throw our thermal paste on there, and I pre-peeled our block. We can drop that on there next as well. We're using the Arctic MX4 for our thermal paste. And I totally botched that. I looked at something that was in my peripheral vision, and it's still there. There's like a hair hanging off my face somewhere. Driving me nuts. Okay, it's gonna be smashed anyway. So here we go. Go. We've got our cooler mounted. Now we could just deal with some of the this stuff. The Okinawa Aqua 3 has a hub on the back, so I'm going to send this RGB header to the back and get connected or synced up on that header. That way, if he pushes the RGB button on the case, it'll control all the fans, including the CPU fan. Ugh. Uh-oh. Ah. Forgot I left the snippers over on the other bench. There we have it. We have a motherboard that's ready to go in. So I'll go ahead and set this over here, and we can go ahead and get the case out. I am Cleo. What's up? It's just a pain for AM4 if you are upgrading CPU and cooler inside a tower, because the black or the backplate, yes, the backplate does like to run. I just used painter's tape to keep the AM4 in place. So there are a couple of tricks to do it without the painter tape. So for example, if you lay it flat and you let the plate just drop, usually you can grab one of the screws and thread it through the hole and pick it back, you know, thread it into the plate and then hold it in place, and at least get two of the mounts in place. That's usually what I'll do. Or I'll take two off and then put one of the screws on there so I have a hold of it, so it's not gonna, if it does drop, I have full control of it and I can pick it back up. So take one of the screws that you pulled out, one of these guys, and put it back through the plate, through the hole into the plate. Then you can hold it or catch it. So that's usually what I do. And then at least until you get another side mounted with the new hardware, then you can pull that and do what you got to do. Smart. Yeah, when you do it long enough, you think of ways to do it. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, it's a little tip you learn over the years of doing it. It's so nice working with all these open loops. The cases are just massive, you know, and every time I have to maneuver it or move it, it's like moving a 100-pound bag of cement. It's so nice getting back to a small micro ATX tower in comparison to those massive behemoths that I've been working with. Yo. Still get zapped by it though. 3 in a month, another update? It doesn't surprise me too much. Like the Microsoft team back in their headquarters is like, what, I'm bored, guys. What do you guys want to do? You guys want to make another, let's make another update. Let's push another update. Yeah, they love our updates. Look at everybody downloaded them. Look at the stats, man. Everybody look, there's like 3 people that didn't. Like the downloads are the view counts for them. Gets them so excited. Yeah, wait. I bet they are stopping us using the word micro slap. Yeah, I don't think they're suppressing that. Don't think they have the powers to do so yet. But they are constantly on the hunt for that power. Well, we gotta put in 2 studs. Any studs in here, boys? That's a ban, sir. Yeah. Don't ban him for saying that. That is a bannable offense. Tony, everyone thought I was crazy building a PC. I'm glad I did it a month ago because it saved so much. Yeah, you definitely did. You definitely did, Tony. You got that absolutely correct right now. You are the winner this time. Oh, by the way, I didn't know if you recall, you and other in chat helped me pick out a 2K monitor for a fellow brother in arms. I got him a 2K 32-inch, or 2 32-inch curved 2K monitors. He is happy, so thank you all. Oh, nice. If it's helping a fellow brother in arm, I'm totally down to help. That's awesome to hear. Thank you for coming back and telling us. Because a lot of times people come in here, ask for advice, and then you never see them again. I mean, usually if you give somebody good advice or you solve the problem, you don't hear from them again, and that's usually a good thing. Like, you know, you helped them and they're on their way and they forgot, but you never get to hear the end of the story. Yeah, I can't remember who was helping. I think it was, might have been Steve Anderson. I feel like Steve Anderson helps out a lot in there. All right, we got all our studs in the right places. Oops. His wife called me. He has not had much issues with the PTSD. Last I hear, he was enjoying the Night City in 2K now. Nice. Yeah, video games can be a very nice way to escape reality. It's good to hear that he's enjoying it. And it sounds like his wife supports it, so that's a plus. Not all wives support our hobbies. Alright, so we've got the motherboard installed into the Okeanis Aqua 3 micro ATX case. So next, we'll get our front panel connectors in, and we'll probably drop a graphics card in there, slap a power supply in there, and do a little cable management magicals, and then we can fire this thing up. Like bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. I have a weird habit of accidentally hitting the LED switch on this board. This board has an LED switch, which is cool, but very easy to accidentally bump. Okay, get back in there. And there we go. Hey, what's up? Steve Anderson, welcome back to the Build Show. I miss you so much. You're ripping through this piece. I know, we're going quick. We're building fast. How much RAM? It's clean, all black. This is 16 gigs. DDR4, 3200. Why you do it? Yes, I caught it. I caught on to it. This is a GTX 1070. Want to make sure there weren't any deaths in there. Looks like it could use a repaste and probably repad. I'm going to, with your permission, Davey, take a little peeky on the bottom of this card because it looks like it could use repaste. If you approve the repaste here in the chat, I will do it. might need some new pads. I have a couple of pads. I've used the majority of my pads that I got sitting here. I think we can make it work. Yeah, go ahead. Righto, we're going to slow the stream down. Approved. We are going to repad this bad boy and repaste. I think it needs it. Just by looking at the underneath. If you saw what I can see, which I don't think my camera can show you what I see, let's see. Let's see if the camera can see it. There's a lot of gunk in there, and you can even see the edge of one of the pads here, and it looks pretty dried out. So, usually a good sign that it needs to be replaced. Oh no, we're breaking the warranty screw sticker. It is now no longer under warranty. Don't ask my son to repaste when he was he used to a 4-gram tube on his laptop. I never let him live that down. Oh man, that's a lot of paste. Laptop maybe 1 or 2 grams, depending on if it has a dedicated GPU. So that should allow this to separate now, which it did. And we do have connectors on the back, but you can tell here, I'm just going to leave the connectors connected because these are old, frail, brittle connectors, and I don't like to remove these if I don't have to, if they're super old, because if you do, they like to break, or the cables like to just pull through when you're trying to pull it out. So I usually just keep them connected. We don't really need to undo it, but this is a thick, I'd say 1 millimeter. We have no... Oh, there's stuff underneath that. What? There's a cold plate? Is this a what is this, like a cold plate on the memory? Is that what that is? I don't know, you guys tell me. Is that like a cold plate? Does anybody know? It's been so long, I don't even know what that is. Gotta be some sort of cold plate. But yeah, that paste is as dry can be. So, a good call to clean this up. Let's pop this off. Pads actually don't feel bad underneath. They're kind of spread out there. They're going to be thin. I don't know if I have thin stuff. Find out, I guess. Do 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 do. 16 gigs with a 5090. I guess you gotta save some money somewhere. Yes, Tony, yes. Alright, let's see what the damage is under here. It is so weird. I mean, we're gonna have to replace it. It is super thin. Thin stuff. And yeah, it needs to be replaced. Pretty dried out and frail. And you can even see the stains of which it leaked itself. So we had a strip there and a strip there. And I can use my cleaner pads. By Arctic. The MX cleaner. They gave me this whole box. All that thermal pad sweat, which is oily. You see leftover on there. Not much I can do about that. Excuse me. Okay, now we're ready to repad. In hopes that I have all the right pads. All right, we had a little strip here, and then these three were covered. It was pretty thin stuff, so... I'm just eyeballing it at this point. I saw a mechanical hard drive, 4 terabytes for 110, and I'm thinking, why not? No, it's just slower storage, that's all. So as long as it's not your boot drive, which I know it's not your boot drive, but for anybody who's watching, mechanical drives are a lot slower than SSDs. Not typically what you want to use for a boot drive with Windows 11. All right, we got our new pads in. Somebody remind me to order new thermal pads, because I'm pretty much out. And I always like to have all the different sizes just in case, because you never know. You never know. GPUs, I tend to like to spread these if you can. I don't know if I have much of a spreading tool, so I'm just going to use a just to make sure we got the whole thing covered. All right. Well, I probably should have put this on and then did that. Kind of dumb. But it's okay. There we go, all freshened up and ready to go. Maybe we give it a little bit of a wipe down. Tyler rocks with a $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. So I got a question. I'm rocking the Ryzen 7 7800X3D because my Intel chip burned out. Probably a 13th or a 14th generation CPU, I'm assuming. Excuse me. And got a whole new build for 173. Do you think it's a good build if I have a 4070 Super with it? What do you mean by, oh, you got a whole new bundle for 173 with the 7800X3D? I guess what's the new bundle? Yeah, there's a lot of cool people in this chat. Steve Anderson, I am Cleo, Tony, who's this? Legendary soy sauce. I still need a power supply, some storage, and a CPU. Is that a, did you change your name? Were you here previously? I've seen a mechanical for yeah, up to have it going in 38 days. Try buy one part every day. Yeah, until you get to like the RAM or the SSD or the graphics card, and then you gotta wait a couple days at least, you know. Hey, what's up, Tyler? Hello again, Empower. What's up, 3 Bricks? What's going on, man? Welcome back to the Build Show. And welcome back to the Build Show, Tyler. Welcome back to the Build Show Legendary Soy Sauce. Did I miss anybody? Everybody, welcome back. Tony over on the Twitch. Tried to do your X and 4 dots. I'm just not as talented. It's all good. I got a 5080 in one computer and a 9070 XT in the other, and I have to say they are awesome, but I was perfectly fine with the 4070. I mean, once you get that itch, Tony, you can't stop it. Came from Scotland. So you're a Scot. Now Texan. So I don't know if I could do a Scottish Texan accent. I can't even try. Forget it. I was gonna say, come here, you little blood boy. That's not even close. Well, I got RAM included with the bundle as well, but at first I was going to do the i9 14900K, but I burned my motherboard and I had to get a new CPU and motherboard from Micro Center. I'm just curious what bundle you got for the 173. You got to answer that. GTX 1070, nice. Yes, we are rocking that tonight. We are rocking that tonight, Steve Anderson. We just did a fresh thermal paste and thermal pad on it. It's been in service for many of years, so let's give it a nice, clean it up. Full service. I'd say it deserves the full service going into the new rig. It's really not that dirty, guys. Just gonna give it a good little wipe. Good little wipe. It's actually impressively clean for how long it's been in service. I mean, there's a little bit that's coming off of it, but pretty impressive. All right. I think we got it clean enough. Got her shining again. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see if she performs as well as she looks. Put her in there. One last blow to go get any loose dust that I loosened up. And there she is. Locked and loaded. All right. I guess all we got to do is put a power supply in here, do a little bit of cable magic, and then fire this thing up. Well, we have quite the we have quite the side conversation going on here, don't we? Mrs. Empower's got a little bit of Cherokee in her as well. Yeah. Hey, it's about the same size as me, Stay. It's about where I'm at. Hoping to solve that this year. Part of the New Year resolution. Help them both. Bet you they're wild. Got all this unexplainable energy. Is that a two? Single. Just a single. I have to figure out this. Uh-oh. We have a visitor. What are you doing over there? Yeah? Ugh. I don't know. Bye. Boy, it's as if I forgot how to put an EPS cable in, guys. Go on, boy, get in there. Nah. Use a tiny hand for the... Yeah, Bianca, come over here and get your hand in here. About time you earned your keep. Finally got it. It was in my peripheral vision for this whole build, and I'm like, where is it? And there you have it. Some quick, clean cable management. It's interesting. Wipe out any fingerprints that I may have left there. And we're ready to fire this thing up. Davey, are you here? Are you ready? I'm ready. All right, you tell me when to push this power button. Tony says, have you seen the new Intel processors that are coming out? They're the same gen, just faster, claims to be faster than AMD at gaming. We'll see about that. From what I gather, it's an improved 1080p. Congratulations, Davey. The i7 270 is $299, and the i5 2250, the i5 2250 is $199. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You may as well. Yeah, and they're claiming it'll beat AMD. Yeah, of course they do. We'll see. All right, Davey. Push it. Push it real good. Here we go. I hope you're ready. He says, push that button. Oh, even the card glows. Kind of forgot this one glowed all around. I knew the back of it glowed. Unfortunately, I don't think you could change the color. It is not RGB, it is just a glowing red. There we go. She is giving us a display, yeah? After we tore it apart, did the the repad? Probably should have plugged the card in first to make sure it worked before I took it apart, right? And we got a post. Excuse me. We got a post. So we're in the BIOS. CPU temperature's riding at 36 Celsius. A little cool. It is looking good. Looking real good. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Windows drive in there. And I'll hang out for a little bit more. If you guys want to hang out more. Now that I'm done building. What's the CPU? That is a Ryzen 5 5500 in there. So it is a 60 watt, very low wattage CPU, which is nice for a smaller rig. Perfect for this card, to be honest. And you can always upgrade later if you wanted to. Tony, are you going to upgrade to Intel if Intel beats AMD? Wait, no, you did switch to Intel. That's right. I keep forgetting that. Dang it. Ugh. I don't look at 1080p for comparing FPS. Look at 1440p. Yeah, it makes more sense nowadays. The more competitive or desired screen resolution now, I'd say probably about the streamlined resolution at this point. If Intel beats AMD at 1080p gaming and AMD has nothing left because Intel beats them at everything else. Oh man. Those are some harsh words. My son is Team Blue and Green. The rest of us are Team Red. He pokes fun at us. He hasn't met the Team Red Mafia yet, has he? Team Red doesn't have any rules. That's what Team Red makes. That's what makes Team Red so good. What's up? How you doing, TJ Wolf? How are you doing? Do you always do that to GPUs at first? That's the first I've seen you do that. So this was a used GPU that was in service for quite some time, and I saw that it desperately needed some love. So rather than putting a GPU that's been in service for many of years into a brand new build without addressing it, I'd rather take care of it. And give him the best possible performance on his brand new build / used GPU. So for used GPUs, yes, I do that. And in some cases, if people want me to replace thermal pads with a specific thermal pad and a thermal paste for their card, brand new card, I will do that also. I've done that in the past on the 2080s. A lot of people had me do that because the pads that came with the 2080 Supers, or the 2080 Ti's, sorry, were just garbage. Honestly, they were just trash. And the 2080 Ti back then was a beast. Back in the day. Although I think they've definitely gotten a lot better out of the factory. So yeah, there were even times where I pulled a card apart and the pad was like split, like not properly on the memory, and it's like, you know, it's kind of a good thing we did this, because I bet this card would have had problems about a year down the road. And it would have been an avoidable situation. And then a lot of times, manufacturers, the paste isn't always the greatest job. So you'll see paste on there, but it's like all spread to the side, and there's like nothing on the top of it, which is dumb. You know, it's just a bad paste job can ruin a GPU. That's why I like to try to spread those on GPUs, give it the best possible results. 2080 has my 2080 was my last team green card before COVID. Yeah. Before mining became a outrageous thing. That was actually right around when mining became outrageous. Was 20 with tail end of the 2080. It was around 3000 series. That's when it became a really big problem. Then miners scooping up all our cards with their bots. Yes, sir. Yeah, I've got one of the most expensive 3070 Ti's ever in my rig right now. I pretend it's a 5090 or a 4090 because that's about what I paid for a 3070. It was back then when it was impossible to get a card, and I had a customer really wanting to do a rig, and he was willing to do like it was like $4,000 rig with 3070 Ti in it. Okay, because that's just how insanely expensive everything was, especially the GPUs. And he ended up backing out of the build because something came up, you know. And then I was like, you know what, screw it. I threw it in my rig. Called it a day. Yeah, I was looking back at some old invoices back in that time, and you know, a Ryzen 5 5600X with a, at the time, like a 3060 Ti and 16 gigs of RAM and a terabyte SSD, M.2 Gen 3, or no, wait, it was Gen 4, but something like that was around $2,000 around that time. And just to think that those parts, those names of parts came out of my mouth right now, and to say the word $2,000 sounds like a sin. You can't, not even close. It did not hold its value from that time at all, not even close. And I've had people come back to me and ask me why is their PC worth so much less than what they bought it for? And I'm like, well, hardware is not like a collector's car. It does not gain value. Computer hardware, it depreciates because technology gets better, and you also bought it at a peak technology point where everything was in super high demand and was super expensive. So yeah, you paid the mining tax, paid the miners. Oh, what's up? I actually didn't see you over there on Kick. Hey, do you remember me getting a PC from you? Yeah, maybe. So I'm having an issue where my lights will not come on at all. I think it's Gigabyte Control Center that controls it, but Gigabyte Control Center won't open. Are you able to help me figure that out? Yeah, we could do a remote session if you want to ping me on Discord or shoot me an email or a text on the support number, which you can pull up from the website. We can schedule out a remote session and take a look at it. But yeah, we could figure that out. It's probably Gigabyte Control Center, especially if you if you haven't updated it in a while. Well, you can. I don't recommend that. That's not a good form of communication for me over there on Kick. I'd recommend if you are on the Discord channel, !Discord for the link to get to the channel. Then just ping me there. That's usually going to be the best place to ping me, and we can schedule out a remote session. Here, icon, the Discord chat. I'm at. Okay, gotcha. All right. Windows is installed. I actually really want to get into Windows so I can check the GPU temps. That's like number one thing I want to go take a look at. The can't tell if the fans are spinning. No, they're not. So the fans aren't even spinning, so that's a good sign. That usually means the card's running cool. Ben, have you fooled around with the boost? With Boost 200s for the new Ultra Series? No, I have not fooled around with any of the Boost But when I reset the computer, they stay off, so I know they work, yeah. It's probably Gigabyte Control Center, for real. Gigabyte Control Center, if it doesn't get updated after a long period of time, sometimes will do some wonky stuff. I gave away my old PC to a kid that wanted to play Minecraft, but it didn't work for him. I should have took it back, and it would have been fun to show you guys. Really bothers me. Well, how long ago was that? You could probably still offer it. Offer to take it back and help him out. Also not a fan of the Gigabyte BIOS. You're not a fan of the Gigabyte BIOS? Nah. You just gotta get used to it. I don't know. I've grown to actually like the Gigabyte BIOS. Yeah, if you need to reinstall Gigabyte, that would be a good start, is just try reinstalling it there. I think they have a uninstaller tool as well, to uninstall it if you're not able to remove what's there. I just had to order a new 10 terabyte NAS. Cost me $275 each. That's because a lot of people are starting to use more hard drives for bulk storage because SSDs are so expensive. That is helping with the increase of the storage hard drive price. All right, get the internet back. And we're gonna get the HW monitor. Oh, that's the other thing I thought of. This is a PCI 3.0 card, and your previous motherboard was probably PCI 2.0, if I remember correctly. Maybe 3.0. It might have been 3. But I can't remember the limitation on that Phenom CPU that you previously had. Let's see what these temps are. Shall we? Oh, yeah. All right. Sensors. So sitting at an idle 40. No, that's CPU. Security alert. Oh, because I don't have the driver installed yet. Duh. Gosh. No, it's not going to screw anything up. If you want to install the Gigabyte Control Center now. But we had to scroll way down there to find the 10 series. This drive feels really nice and snappy, though. I do like it. There's like no delay on with this drive. The SSD. Go grab the chipset driver while I'm out here. Oop. Heck, I still recall when DDR memory came out. XP days. Yes, I remember that too. I remember that. I'm old enough to remember that as well. Trying to explain to my mom why I had to get DDR memory, which meant a new motherboard and new CPU, was very difficult to explain why it was important for me to get that. Took a while, but I convinced her. I was a kid. Still a kid. All right. Get some of this stuff installed. Computers have always been expensive. Yeah, I know. There was actually a time in a day when they were relatively cheap. Like it was the calm before the storm. But yeah, they've mostly been pretty expensive. Roy says Asus just seems more black and white with the BIOS settings. Yeah, but I think Gigabyte's pretty close to it too. They've gotten a lot better. Yeah, restart the PC. Oh, you just set up the dual PC? Gotcha. Nice. Yeah, give it a reboot and see if that changes anything. You also have to go to the update center in the Gigabyte Control Center if it launches, if you do get it to launch, and make sure it's updated. It's part of the process, because sometimes, or all the time, Gigabyte Control Center does not like to run properly if it's not up to date. I've just seen Gigabyte has more problems than Asus. What are you talking about? I've got so many Gigabyte products out there. This is like the first time I've had somebody come to me and tell me they have a problem. Oops. I just pushed the power button, but not me. Totally did not mean to do that. That sucks, because it was right in the middle of a chipset driver. And a, definitely the wrong... That was Discord, by the way. Wrong button. Yeah, we definitely pissed it off with that driver install. Oh, boy. Well, let's go back and try to fix that. Was also in the middle of doing this. What's up? I buy war. I'm playing or planning to buy a PC pre-built, but Windows is not counted with it. Is it a problem? So if Windows is not on the device, meaning they're selling just the hardware without a Windows license, then it will be your responsibility to create or buy the installation media for Windows and then install Windows. Do you know if it actually has the SSD storage that comes with the pre-build? What's up, Sazuk? Or did I get your name right? Yeah, or did I get your name right? He's a funny guy. Is this a used or brand new pre-build? Yes. Do the updates. Just don't do the Norton install if it tries to push that. If that's one of the check marks, uncheck that. Yeah. Or you have Norton, like not from Gigabyte, or you have that from Gigabyte. Oh, it's brand new. The SSD is a 1 terabyte SSD M.2 Gen 4. Okay, I mean, not from them. No, you're fine. Just don't install another version of it, because it'll install a second version. So just read through the list and make sure Norton's not in that list. So if Windows is not listed, I would probably assume that they are selling the rig or PC without an operating system. Does it say no OS or anything like that? Don't put Norton on your computer, Tony says over on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, you could, hey, what's up, Geesh? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Yeah, no OS. Then yeah, you won't have an operating system, so that means if you have another computer, you can create your Windows installation media, which is a bootable USB drive, which is what I just used to install Windows on this PC. It's got a little thumb drive here with Windows installation media on it, ready to go. You could create that using another computer, but you do need a computer to create that. So if you don't have another computer to create that Windows installation media, then you have to buy it. Or if you have a friend, maybe that friend can do it for you. But no OS means you're going to plug it in, fire it up, and it's just going to go to the BIOS, and that's as far as it's going to go until you get Windows installed on it. Which is literally what I just did here. It's just I didn't share that on the stream because I was dicking around with it. Sorry. I think I did this a couple of streams ago as well. All right. Now, HW monitor should show us the card. It does. Eh, 52 is a little hotter than I would want it, but this, you guys got to remember, this is like a, what, almost 10-year-old card now. So, how does it work? I do have a portable PC with Windows. Well, you need a physical PC where you can plug in a thumb drive. So if you can plug in a thumb drive and you can download the installation media and run the tool on that thumb drive and set it up, then you can do that from that PC. If not, then you got to borrow somebody else's PC, or, like I said, buy Windows with the installation media. There's a ton of tutorials out there on YouTube that'll walk you through it. It's really not that hard. It's very easy to do. Alright, let's see what she does. I don't have all the updates and stuff done, but let's let her rip in 1080p. Well, thank you, Tony, for the 5 gifted memberships over there on the YouTube channel. Brian Tan 10. Leave Me Alone. That was a good one. And Dr. Q Bull. And Ray Scripter? Ray Scripter? I don't think I've seen him in here. A couple of good ones, though. Yeah, I hope it works as well. Y'all. Yahweh? Is it Yahweh? Yahweh? Thank you a lot. Yeah, if you feel like you need a little bit more help, you can definitely join the Discord channel. And that's usually a better place because we could send you links and screenshots and stuff. But ! Discord for the Discord channel. A great place to get a little bit of extra help there. Thank you, Roy. I gotcha. Yahweh. Gotcha. I think I remember actually asking you about that originally, back when I built your PC. I believe we had the same conversation. But for a moment there, I felt like Gandalf. I have no memory of this place. But she's pumping out some pretty good frames at 1080p. We're at 150 frames per second. Card's sitting at 5070 or 57 Celsius. I'm just hanging around that. Excuse me. Yeah, you too. Have a good night. Join the Discord and drop it in the support channel, and we be happy to help you get that USB drive. You need a 16 gigabyte USB drive as well. So I know a guy that can help you with the optimization. His name is Chamber Tech, and I highly recommend going him. He's like one of the only people that I do recommend for PC optimizations or underclocking, or undervolting, should I say. He's the type of guy who's not going to just brainlessly pump power into your components and kill them and shorten their life. He does it very, very well. Does a good job at it. He's actually resurrected a couple of Intel 14th gen processors from pre-built companies that don't have a warranty anymore. He's helped resurrect them by undervolting and changing whatever he changes in that for that scenario. I don't know his secret sauce, to be honest. Wish I did. But Chamber Tech, I think he's in the Discord channel. If you need help, if you need a link, just drop me a reminder in Discord, and I'll link you to him. That's part of some of the updates. Don't be scared. That is part of the update. Yeah, 1080p looks pretty solid. He's running pretty good. Impressed for almost a 10-year-old card to be pumping out the frames that it's pumping out right here. But there you have it. That's it for me, guys. We're at about 2 hours right now. We just hit the 2-hour mark. That's enough for me. We built the PC, we installed the Windows, we even repatted a graphics card, gave it a little bit of a resurrection. And now Dave can enjoy a PC to game on, and I think he's still in school, so he'll get through some school with this thing too. Hopefully meet a lot of people on this thing virtually, make tons of friends, lifetime friends. Who knows? Who knows what adventures lie for Dave on this one. But there we have it, build number 17 in the books. That's all I've got for tonight, guys. I'm burnt out from this week. We got migration weekend happening this week. So probably no build stream this weekend. Next week we're going to be going to Oklahoma after the migration for a family wedding, and we're driving, so we've got 16 hours plus 16 hours of driving, so we've got 34 hours of, or 32 hours of driving, 32 hours total within 5 days. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And I guarantee you Mrs. Empower is going to be the passenger princess, passenger queen, you know. And then of course all my daughters are too young to drive, so it's just going to be me doing the driving. Hopefully the Suburban makes it there and back again without giving us any additional issues. I'm going to probably write on the back of it, to Oklahoma or bust. Oklahoma or bust. The joke. Oh yeah, we'll be safe. So there probably won't be a build stream. Maybe I'll try to squeeze one in Monday or Tuesday. Maybe Wednesday next week. Just to give you guys a little bit of a boost to make it through the wedding. And then after that, we'll be back on to more of a normalized schedule. But it all also depends on if we're getting builds or not. Right now, we're not really getting a ton of builds because everything's super expensive. Nobody wants to buy anything, and I really don't blame anybody. It's so expensive. Everything's just stupid. Depressing. But until the next one, if I don't see you, don't worry, I'm still around. Feel free to join the Discord. Thank you, Some Giant Idiot, for dropping those links. It's a good place to stay in touch. I'll probably post some updates there, maybe take a picture of Mrs. Empower while I'm driving, or vice versa, on our road trip. Make fun of her. That's all we got, guys. Thank you, everybody, for joining and watching as we built Dave's PC. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good night. Happy Hump Day. Toodaloo. Disney's probably going to come after me for that one.